What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Wright Family Gaming. This is going to be Medieval Dynasties review. Yeah, it is actually one of my all-time favorite games. I love the people. You hear me talk about Cold Horizon a lot with Gold Mining Simulator, but Top Lips Productions is probably my second favorite company. I love their games. So we got, this game was came released in September 17th, 2020. It's a PS5 and a PS4 version. It's made by Top Clips Productions and Code uh, Game Render, Cube Render. It's all platforms. There are two maps on here. Uh, one is it's called the Valley. The next one is called the Oxbo map. So the Valley is more like a story mission. It's a it's you go in, you play as a character, and you just play through his life. On Oxbow, it's a multiplayer map. Uh, the Valley is a solo map. You can't play multiplayer. Only Oxbow can be played on multiplayer. Oxbow, you got customizations. You can go in, customize your character, make him look like what you want, and like I said, you can also play multiplayer. So, uh, there has been multiple, and I mean multiple download or updates to this game since its release, and all of them's just made it better and better and better. Uh, I really enjoy this game. Uh, it is rated teen for teen or T for teen. So PS Store has it for original price for $34.99. Uh, Echoes edition, you can get it for 35.99 on sale for 20.99 right now, ending in July the 30th, uh, 2000, 2025. You can buy that on for just 4.99 by itself. You don't have to buy the bundle. Steam has it for 34.99. Has a couple of bundles, which was posted on the front of the video or on my front page with other games in them. Uh, you got one set with all add-ons, 41.37. You got one for 39.99. Amazon has it for Walmart has it for 34.99. Amazon has it for 22.73 and up to 40. GameStop has it for 29.99 or Pro members 28.99. So uh, that being said, that's the most of the information off the game. Uh, I will explain more about the game here in just a second. So let's just dive right in. All right. So first off, I'm going to sleep because I can't see nothing, as you can tell. Uh, so I have recently started a new save on this game because I had already went through most of it. And there's no really end to this game. Uh, you play. So, like I said, on the valley, you are going in and becoming a character. He loses his family in the medieval war. He has an uncle that lived in the valley, so he travels way, way off into the valley and to go find his uncle. Well, come to find out, his uncle was dead too. So he stays there, builds a village, and starts trying to figure out what all happened. And he finds the murder of his dad, or his uncle. Uh, so basically, that's the storyline on the valley. Uh, on this one, uh, the Oxbo map. I'm on the Oxbo map. I've always liked the Oxbo map. I did the Valley when I first started playing it, but I like the Oxbow map better because it's multiplayer. Uh, and you can play, you can customize everything. You can do what you want basically. Uh, I will say I like the layout of the Valley better. I think it has better places to build a settlement at, because that is your main objective on this game, is to build a settlement and turn it into a kingdom basically. Uh, so the story behind the Oxbow map is the town or the country of Oxbow paid a bunch of people to come in and to build, start building some settlements to make this Oxbow bigger. Okay, well, on their way there, they had all kinds of supplies, money with them, and on the way there, they was robbed by bandits, outlaws, jumped. Uh, well, the one you're playing as right now was actually one of the bandits that robbed them, but the other bandits left him for dead, almost killed him. So the people in Oxbow found him about dead and brought him in and healed him back to health. Of course, you try to lie to them and tell them you was one of the helpers, but they knew you was lying. So, basically, they give you a second shot, and they let you stay in the land, and they just tell you to go build your own settlement. To start building settlements, do what the people are supposed to do that you robbed. So this is a survivalist role play type game. I love this game. I honestly love this game. Uh, it is so relaxing. It's not hard to play. I like sometimes taking a break from the hard games that you have to think about so hard, uh, mentally challenging, figure out strategies and how to do this and how to do that. I like, I like them, but every once in a while you want to just relax. And just be able to do stuff, whatever you want, not worry about getting killed or uh, stuff like that. And to me, this is one of the most relaxingest games I've ever played. Like I said, basically, you're a crafter. You're just going to build a settlement, start asking people to come help you and be part of your pack and your clan. And as you can see, graphic wise, this game is pretty good. I mean, they've done a really good job on this game. Really good job. I think it's all beautiful. They've done a very good job with the snow. Of course, like I said, there's updates all the way up till this year. They just got done doing another update at the beginning of this year and adding add-ons and everything to it. So, uh, these people are pretty good. You know, they listen to what people want and what they say, and they try to make it happen. So, they're one of my favorite people. Uh, so you do have animals in here that try to kill you. And like I said, this is a survivalist game, so you die pretty easy if you want. But what I like about it, it's one of those games that they give you the option to customize stuff the way you want it. You know, if you want an easy going, just have fun game, and especially when you first start, because it's really hard to get used to when you first start. Your temperatures kill you, the snakes, venom kills you, poison kills you, not eating kills you, everything just kills you. No water kills you. Just like real life. Uh, but it's really hard, especially temperatures. Uh, at first, it's really, really hard part, I think, because you start out with nothing basically, and the name of the game is to get in it, start crafting. But you got to have resources to start crafting. What you see me doing right now. I'm picking up everything I can, sticks, stones, because everything on here you can use for something. So that's basically what your job is. There is bandits on here, which used to not be. It came in one of the updates last year, which is awesome. It made it even better. Uh, they do have armor on too. The armor you see on me right now was part of the updates. Now you can make your own clan name and color your armor and everything. Like I said, they've done good work. They've done really good work on this game. Uh, Even when it first came out, I played it, and of course it had its problems. It froze up some, and I think it did crash a couple of times even. But I'm ever since like the first year, it's been fixed. I mean, it's a very awesome game. Uh, but it breaches to it depends on what type of gamer you are. If you like the big war PvP playing games, then no, this game ain't gonna be for you. Uh, but if you like survivalist games like Green Hell and other ones like that, this is for you because this is probably one of the best ones. And as you see, it is done very beautiful. I mean, it's really done good graphic wise. Uh, Everything works good. I mean, I call it as I see it. I have a lot of hours on this game. Uh, I've played this game multiple times from from the valley, and then I'd quit, start this one, and I'd play a while, and then I'd find something else and play something else a while, and then I'd come back to this. But I do enjoy this game. I mean, it's just a fun game to play. Uh, it's fun to see all the different places people make, how they put it together. Because, most of us we're all different. And one setup will be different setup than others. And that's what makes it so enjoyable to me is I like to see pictures and stuff of the other people in the world and how they decided to build their camps or their, you know, villages. I like to see how they start the game out, how they survive, what their strategy is. Uh, that's one of my favorite things about it, games like this, because it's basically just all strategy. So I will show you a little bit of what you can do here. So this is your building stuff right here. So if you push on handcraft in here, it shows you everything you can make by hand. So you got a wooden hammer, stone axe, which is what we're using, pickaxe stone is what we're using, wooden shovel, wooden hoe. So of course, you got a simple bag so you can put seeds and stuff in. Stone sickle, stone knife, wooden spear, and simple torch and snowballs. That's what you can make by hand. Now, there's other weapons and stuff you can make, but you got to be able to run them in the forges and stuff like that. This is all by hand stuff, quick made. Then, of course, you got your buildings, which is you got houses. Each stage, you got your simple wattle house, which is the straw houses, basically. And then you got a wooden house that's built out of all wood, and then you got stone house. Simple houses are the smallest ones. Of course, you got the same three on the other simple, small house, simple house, and then you got the bigger house, which is the same three stone, wood, and wattle. You got to take care of your villagers. That's the main goal, basically. You got to keep them happy so they don't leave. You got to also make them work for you. You got to find jobs they're good at, keep them working, keep food in the bank, in the storage for them, and keep them warm. Uh, that being said, if you use a simple house, especially these here, they won't be very happy because the insulation, it'd be really cold. They won't be as happy. But if you use one of the bigger houses like this one here, you don't have to use stone, of course. But if you use a wooden house, they're usually pretty happy, especially if you make the big houses like this. Uh, so and then you got your buildings, your work stuff, which is you got a well to pour water from. So you put somebody on this well, and they will put buckets of water in your storage for your people to drink. You got a woodshed, which is what you make firewood and planks out of, which is what you need to stay warm and what you need to build. You got the second one, You got an excavation shed. Now this is for you put somebody on this, and they will go collect stuff for you. Basically, you got, let's see, I think straw. They go clay, straw, stone, and sticks. I think I ain't got one set up because I wasn't ready. I'm not, like I said, I'm just starting out. And then of course you got the mines. So there's 4 mines on each map, even in the valley. You got to find them, and if you set this up right in front of the door, you own that mine. You do not have to. You can go in and mine it without owning it, but you can't get iron. You have to own the mine to be able to go deeper in to get the iron. So there's that, and then you got your survival stuff. You got the hunting lodge, which you can cook your meat. You know, it's got salted meat, I think roasted meat, and then you can make bow and arrows and bows. And then you got fish, the fishing hut, which is, you know, they use fish spears. They make fish spears. They do all that. They go out, catch fish, put it in storage. A herbalist does the same thing. Put somebody on there, and they go out and find herbs, mushrooms, stuff like that. And you can also make them craft poisons and stuff, or dye your clothes with. And then you got your farming, which is your barn. It makes, you know, you makes wheats and, you know, oat and all that. Does the smashing, makes daub that you can insulate wood with, makes manure. Then you got your farm shed, which is your workers. This is the ones who, wherever you set these sheds, will be the ones that go out and work your field for you. So you don't have to. They'll go out and they'll start plowing and planting the seeds that you pick to put in it. Then you got a windmill, which is basically they make flour in it, about all flowers. Then you got fields you can put down, and you got orchards you can put down. And the guys will work them for you. You can work them, or you can put guys on it and work them. Of course, you have animals that you can raise, but you got to raise really to survive on here. You got chickens, you got pigs, donkeys. Donkeys can be rode. I see no use in them really. Besides manure, that's all they give you. You got goose, you got horses, which is probably the biggest thing on here. Sheep, cow shed, which is milk and honey. Uh, so about every one of them you really need. Manure, you definitely need to make uh, fertilizer. So it's good to have all the animals making manure. You need milk and stuff, and eggs, all that to cook with. You need wool. Wool's number one because that's what you make leather or clothes out of and stuff. And that's a big, big thing because you want to make money on here too. And the best way to make money is to set selling markets up in your village, and you put somebody in there, and it will automatically sell uh, stuff for you. Oh, and they people will run these for you too if you put them like put them in these. They will take care of the animals for you. They'll pick up the eggs. They'll shear the sheep. And then you got production sites, and this is what makes the money. So you got a workshop, which is the place where you can put them in, and they'll build craft things like clay jars and bags and all kinds of stuff. This is a smithy, which is one of my favorite places. I like to run the smithy myself. I use it a lot by myself. Uh, but that's where you make all your uniforms, your armor, your iron weapons, and bronze and copper and wooden tools. Anything done with the metal. You can make bars, iron out of iron ore, and all that in a smith. Then you got your sewer, which makes the clothes for you. Uh, Basically, you don't dress them like they dress themselves. Now, I have not played it since that last update where they put this new add-on, and I reckon that now they're supposed to be able to wear different color clothes and everything now. So I don't know if that's I'm not seeing it yet. Shh, hush, hush. Sorry, guys, my dogs. Uh, so I don't know if it works or if it don't. Here's your kitchen. These are the ones that cook, and then you got a tavern. Of course, it makes alcohol and serves your place. It's a place for gathering your village and stuff. Then you got your services, which is market stall I was telling you about, which is where they sell all your items that you put in it. Uh, and then you got a builder's hut. Builder's hut are the ones who go around and put maintenance. Every season changes, and when it does, it usually brings different things. You might get people leaving, you might get people coming through your village and share this, share that. You might have the king's taxmen come in. Uh, but usually there's a houses damaged past the season, so the builder hut people will go out and fix the buildings for you, so you don't have to. And then of course you got storage, which is a big part of this. You will have multiple storages, because the reason why is because anything you put in these storages is what your workers and everything will use. If you keep it in the storage, they will use it. If you don't have it in the storage, they can't do their work. So it's important that you have multiple, and all these only have so many storage in it. So you end up having like three, if I had like 4 or 5 different resource storages, so you don't have to go through and get rid of a bunch of stuff. It just builds up. You still over time have to go in and clean it out, but I always just keep it on myself. And then you got your food storage, which is where your food goes. So, and then of course you got platforms. This was part of a new DLC where you just put bridges. You make bridges now, piers. You got fences, gates, decorations. And this was part of the new add-on that was just released at the beginning of this year. Nature's Echo. Supposed to let you plant bushes, trees, rocks, ponds. I've not used none yet. So, but you got lighting, which is a big key, seats and tables, containers, which is basically storage for smaller stuff, traps. Uh, you got bird traps, you got rat traps, fish nets, rabbit traps. I don't never use the traps. Uh, Depending on how you play, I guess. They do catch. They are good at catching things. So I do use the fish nets. That's a big thing for your people to use. Now, of course, you got campfires you can make. You got miscellaneous, which is basically like a privy, outhouse. You got the bell posts, weapon racks, training dummy, snowman, scarecrows, just decoration basically. And then you got the banners. And this is what I like. These are my favorite things. I am a big medieval guy. That was my favorite time in history, where the kings and and all that ruled, the knights, I've always been intrigued by that stuff. So this here is like king banners and stuff that you can actually make yourself. You color them, you put them, you color all that. So pretty good stuff. So that's all, and then you got roads. You can actually build roads. Uh, And then you got here, you can switch your weapons. You put so many, whatever you want on here. I got a bronze spear, shovel, and you can change them out in your inventory anytime you want. The wooden hammer is what you build with. You click it, you go to build mode, you got repair, which repairs buildings. You got move, which you can move buildings now. That used to not be there. That's another part of the new DLC that came out this year. They made it to where you can actually just pick up something and move it. Used to, you had to demolish it and rebuild it. Now you can just pick it up and move it. And then, of course, you got just regular build, what you build with. And then you got destroy. If you want something to, back down again, or you don't want something, you just destroy it. You got remove insulation, add insulation. So you got, insulation you use a lot. You use all this a lot, basically. I don't use that. And I've never removed insulation. So now I've got to make a fire again and sleep because you can't see none. You got torches that you can carry, but it still don't really help a whole lot. And you can sleep anywhere. You can make a campfire and sleep, but you can also build a house, which I got a house built over there for me. So what you see me doing now is I'm clearing my village out. This is where, because the number one thing is start collecting. What I like to do, which is, like I said, you can change your customization settings. So you come in when you first, if you want a hard challenge, and just really fight to survive and just really hard, you can leave everything on. And that being said, right off the bat, as soon as you start, you'll freeze to death if you ain't got clothes in the winter. Uh, you'll thirst to death if you ain't next by some kind of water source. Uh, Animals will kill you like crazy. So I mean, it's just certain things that you can temperature, like you can get too hot and die. Uh, Carrying weight, like when you first start out, you can barely carry anything. I think it's like maybe 100 pounds that you can carry on yourself, which makes things impossible, really, almost. Uh, it's just not enough to haul stuff. So I don't like playing like that. I did play like that. I mean, it's good. It's fun to play like that at first, and just mess around, see what you can do, what you can't do. But then I found out that it's pretty tough to even get started. And to me, if you have to sit there and kill yourself and work hard and die 100 times in order just to build something, you're not really having fun at that point. Uh, so I always customize my settings. Like right now, I've got temperature turned off because I just started. So I don't have no clothes, no nothing, no money to buy clothes with, or no way to make clothes right now. Because it takes a while to get set up, guys. It really does. And so I turned temperatures off. Uh, Basically, I've got it set up to where I can do whatever I want. I got unlimited carrying weight, which means I can hold as much stuff as I want on me at any time. Which is probably the best setting there is, because there's a lot of stuff that you want to keep and you can't if you don't turn that on. So I've got that, and right now, like, I barely got my health turned on, so like I can't be drained. If big bears or whatever attack me, I can't die real fast. Uh, just certain things that helps out as you start, and then as you go, like I like to do, I get things set up where you need to get, and then you can start switching your settings back, and start doing like hard because you've got a little bit to stand on at that point. That's what I like. Because I'm telling you, if you play this with the regular settings on and you try to survive, it's hard. It really is. And everything on here kills you. If you don't drink the water, it kills you. If you don't uh, get enough, you can't carry enough resources to build stuff with. So you're dropping stuff and running back and forth and trying to get this, trying to get that. Uh, so I to me, and I've done it different ways. That's my job as a gamer. I think that's what I call myself, a real gamer, because that's my job. I go in, I test it. I go in, I automatically start playing like this. I'll play like that, and get the best of both worlds, and see how it goes. And then after a while, it's just like, okay, I've done this, I've done that. Now let's just have fun. And because one of the hardest things to do on here when you first start is temperatures. I mean, just staying warm and uh, in the winter. You only got, which you can turn your days up and down too. Like you sleep 2 days and it changes the season. You could make it 100 days changes the season. Uh, that's another thing I change. I don't put it way up there, but I like putting my days 5, 6, 7 days a season, and that way it gives me time to try to get set up before I freeze to death or something. Because I have come in and I've played two, different ways, and I've come in and I've tried to, let's see, say I come straight in and start building my settlement. I come straight in, I start getting people to come in and stay. But every time I've done that, I've failed. I've almost had to restart everything. If you're playing realistic, real rules, because it's impossible to build everything, and especially if you jump right in and you ain't got nothing, and you start going around and getting people to come stay with you. You have no water to fill, to give them. You have no food source to give them. They'll freeze. They don't have firewood, and then you just get caught with your britches down, basically. So my favorite thing, and I've played this a long time, and the way I figured it best out is, and that's what makes it fun, guys, is because everybody can do it differently. It's just a fun game that way. I love games that, like I said, that makes the settings customizable for you. So if you want to have fun, you go in and turn everything down or up, and make it easier for you. And you can just do what you want, run around. And that's one of my things. That's what I like. I like to go in and build stuff. I like to make things myself. Uh, I don't want to die and lose everything I got right off the bat. Just like on Farm Sim 25, I go in, I put money in my bank account, and I take a map that I think I like, and I flip it upside down. I make it into something I want. Uh, that's my favorite things to do. And it's still pretty challenging. That's what I think is cool about this game is uh, even with settings turned, like right now, I've got my health up, can't really die very much, which is all good and fine, but there's no money cheat on here. So you cannot get money. You have to run the village to village selling, and and each village can only sell so much. Once they're out of money that you're getting from them, they're down until the next season. Can't sell nothing else. Uh, market stalls can sell all year round. They don't. They just keep selling, and it just adds money to your account. But in order to, like when you first start, you can't really build a market stall. I mean, you can build it, but then you know, then you got to start getting people to run it, and then you got to start taking care of them, and you lose stuff very quickly. They will go through things really quick. So what I do is I come in, and I've realized that I like to start by myself, no village, no nothing. First thing I do, of course, is make a weapon and gather wood, and that way I can make campfire to sleep. That's the essentials, especially if you got your thirst turned down and all that, where you ain't going to die of dehydration. Uh, I start out like that, and then I start grabbing stuff. I just start collecting, and then I make a weapon. And then my next thing I do is I'll go find where I'm going to put my village, like where I want to build. That needs to be like the first or second thing you do, because the name of the game is to start building. Start making your own place and make it successful. If you can make a a village successful in medieval times, then you're doing good. So that's what I do. I will second thing will go and find a place to set up. Then what I have figured out helps me the most, or is the easiest thing to get started, is for one, you take everything you can get right off the rip, because you sell everything too. You sell sticks, you sell wood, you can sell rocks, and you need money. You got to have money to build, or to make clothes or to make weapons. You got to have money to do all that stuff. And so what I like is I'll come in and I figured out I've sold everything. I've went and sold this before. I went and sold that before, seeing what kind of money I can get for it. And so far, ore is where it's at. The ore is where your money's at, and the weapons. Everything else, clothes make pretty good money, but everything else ain't. It's not worth selling, really. It is if you're selling through the market stall, but if you're running to village trying to get money, it's just not worth it. Not worth it at all. So my thing is, I go and find the mines right off the rip. Uh, find where the mines are at, get them memorized, uh, and then I don't buy them or I don't build them. I go right straight in and I start making my ore mining, copper ore and tin ore. And I think you get salt too. And that's what I start doing. I go right in, I start cleaning out all the caves as much as possible, getting as much as I can. Then I will go and start going to the markets around the villages and just selling most of the ore off, just to get enough money to start with. And the next thing I like to do is I will take the money and the crossbow is your favorite best weapon on here. It automatically, hands down, it is the best thing to have on this game. There is other bows that you can make, but the crossbow is the best. Other bows are really hard to aim with, and they're also really hard to hit with. They don't shoot very far. This is just a simple wooden crossbow, and I don't really like it, but it's all I could get right now. Anyway, I go and I sell, or I get started. Then I'll go mine some more. Once you found where you're going to make your village, you can then start laying everything out, like where you're going to put it. Where am I going to put this? Where am I going to put my house? Everybody loves kings and all that. You think of yourself as a king on this game because you're running everything. You're protecting your people, you're taking care of your people, you're trying to do this, you're trying to do that. So I always put my house separate from all the others. Like I can try to look out and watch the other houses if I'm in my house. So that's another thing I try to do. But once you find where you're going to put your house, you build a house. And that way you have a place to go in and sleep. You don't have to waste wood no more building campfires. You can just go straight in and go to bed. So then, once I get all that, first set of building or production I build is the smithy. I put it up and then I run it myself. That's what's going to make you the best money. I go in, I go and get my ore again. I go back to the mines, I dig some more, I get some more ore, I bring it back to the smither building, and then I make it into bars. If you put the tin and copper together, it makes the bronze. So I don't really use the tin. So what I'll do is I'll get as much as I can. I'll make as much bronze as I can, and then I just keep the rest of the copper. Make copper weapons too. Every weapon on here makes pretty decent money, especially if it's metal weapons like copper or bronze or iron. So I do that, and then I just start making little weapons like swords, or because you can make daggers, you can make swords, shields, and when you get enough of them up, then you can start running and selling, your stuff. Then you start making some good money. And the reason you want money when you start, because most of this stuff you can do without money, but there's a certain product that you need that you can't get at first because you ain't got a way to get it going, and that's flux and wool. Uh, that is what you make strings out of to make your bows and all that. You want to be able to try to make a crossbow as fast as possible. That's not the wooden one, but the iron crossbow is the one you want. That's the number one thing you need to try to unlock at first is your iron. You just keep doing what you got to do. And I'll show you what I mean, because all I'm doing right now is trying to get this is where I'm building the village. So I'm trying to do all this cut down. To start putting my buildings and all that. Because you always want to have more buildings than you have people. Because that way, when you go out and you find somebody that you think you want, because each one of them will have things they're good at, and each one of them have things they're bad at. You'll need some of a certain type of person that's good at this before you'll need the other one. So you want to make sure that you get them. So as you can see, I've got my iron or my smither made up over there, and I've got the wood shop. The wood shop is good because you got to have planks to build with. So you got to make planks, and you got to have firewood to make enough firewood for your people to survive. Which is what I do by myself at first. Like right now, I can make planks, by myself, and I can just start building houses and stuff like that, and get them made before I even go out and find people. That way, I don't have to worry about not having a house for somebody and they freeze to death before they come to my place. That's what I usually do. And then, so like I said, I've got my smither made. I've got my, oh, it's foxes. I thought it was wolves for a minute. Woodwork shop made where I can make planks and firewood. Like I said, though, I've got my temperature turned like basically off so I don't freeze or I don't get too hot, because that's the hardest thing to deal with when you first start, because you ain't got clothes. You ain't got no money to go buy clothes with. So, and then wintertime hits and you're froze. I always turn that off, especially starting out. Because you can turn things off for you and you can turn things off for your villagers too. I turn mine off for me, but I'll leave the temperature for the villagers on, and like food and all that. And that makes it a little still, like realistic, because you're still feeding your people and you're still having to keep firewood in their place to keep them warm. Because you can end the game without dying. You don't have to die. If your villagers run off, then you're screwed anyway. Because you ain't, then you're by yourself again and you're stuck. And then you got to run through after all this. But you can do it at the same time, but I don't. So I run through, cut all the trees down, gather all the wood, because you need as much wood, logs, that you can get. Logs is probably the best thing you can have. Stones and logs. On this game, that's everything. So I collect as much logs as I can get. and stones. I collect anything, but that's the two that you're going to use the most of because you're going to build, you're going to firewood, and you just got to have the logs. Some things use logs by themselves, some things use planks. So either way, you got to have logs. That's the thing you'll run out of. See, sometimes you get lucky and find a dead rabbit. So what I'm doing, I've actually got turned around a little bit. I make it so big because I like making big places. I like to just have a big place and work our way up to having something, making a big kingdom. And what I'm doing right now, first off, I need to find out where my building's at. I done lost my place. Yeah, I'm way up here. I need to go that way. And here's your clay deposits right here. You can use your shovel and dig up, and you get things out of the clay. Plus, you get clay too. You can get other things, but you can get clay mostly. So here is where my place is. This is where I made my little house by itself. Uh, Basically, either way I go, look out either window. I can check out the building, my village, make sure everybody's okay. I've got to look out back here because there is bandits. So I can check across the river, make sure nobody's trying to come across the river on us. Of course, here's the wood shop and the smither. I have been playing a little bit, so I've already got armor on, which is what I try to get very soon because if not, you'll die from bandits. So this is all where my building's going to go. I'm planning on my house. This is I'll probably get rid of that once I get started, but the smither I'll keep over here. Of course, I'm going to have a fish hut right here. And then all through the rest of this is going to be resource storages and food storages and animals down the rest of this right here. That's where everything's going to be at. Over in here is where the productions and the people are going to be, the villagers. So that's what I'm working on right now is clearing out the rest of the land to start building people's homes. And you want to try to, well, now that they made it to where you can move the house, it's not as bad, but I always try to lay it out in my mind before I do it. And that way you don't have to move nothing. You just start building, you know where you're going it. So it's just going to go. And you do have technology points, which I'll show you that. You have skills that you have to raise up, which is free. Like I got 2 on extraction right now. Uh, that one I really don't care about. The carrying weight I don't care about. We'll get that one. And then you got 2 here. So you got steady hand, prowler, tracker, predator. That one. What? Oh, crap. So we got experienced hunter, durability loss of weapons. Yeah, we'll get that one. Then you want to go straight to lock and load. That makes your you need to fill that one up before you do any of them because that one makes your speed faster when you're drawing the bow up. And then you diplomats. Them you can just kind of just go through and make barter good, so you can barter stuff. Make charming good, so you can get women because you do get married and stuff on here. So now you go to technology, and this is where you have to have money. This is stuff that you can buy that will unlock. Like if I want to make a log chair, I pay $500 and get log chair, and be able to make it. Uh, each one of the places has this, woodshed, your mines, every one of them you use to buy your stuff with. And the name of the games have it all, right? You got to have it all so you can make it all. And then you got, your hunting lodges. You can make a stone spear for 50. You can make a bow, stone arrow, bird traps, leather, all that stuff. You got to buy it, and you got your herbalist, which you can make your potions. That's what you're doing, buying potions and dye. Uh, the fishing hut, you got longbow, all the fishing stuff. Same thing, just goes down the recurve bow, decorations, and that's why you got to have money. And of course, your flour, all that, your barn, you got to have it to make that. Uh, you got to have scarecrow, animal feed. Uh, you got to have all kinds of stuff. And then, of course, you got, your productions. So you buy them. That's what you can craft in the production site. Uh, buckets are real big right now. That's what one thing you want to start making is buckets. And wooden vials are good because that you put your potions in it. Of course, this is stuff you can cook with kitchen. The smithy, which is the most important to me, because the more you unlock, the better stuff you're going to be able to build. Of course, you see, I just bought copper stuff and bronze as much as I could. And then you got the sewing hut. This is where you can make your dresses, your boots, and all that. But you got to have linen fabric and linen thread, which comes from flux. So that's why I'm saying you got to have money because it's easier at starting out just to buy the linen thread and stuff. You got your another workshop that you can build stuff. Clay vials, real good on this one. Uh, that's about it. the smithy, of course, you want all your iron stuff. This is where you want all your iron stuff. And then, it just goes down the line. That's stuff that you just got to get. Of course, I've not got money right now. I'm not able to get stuff like that. I think I've only got 1,200 $1,200 is all I've got. I had more than that, but like I said, I bought a bunch of stuff to unlock where I could build, armor, craft armor. That's why I got the bronze armor on. Bronze is really the one I don't like. I like bronze weapons, but I don't like the bronze armor and stuff because you can't color it. I like being able to color. And see, good thing is because the way I've been doing it, I should have quite a lot of stuff put up now. Which is going to put me set to go to build everybody's places because I'll have enough stuff put up to build it. I'll have enough stuff put up to feed them and all that because I have been hunting too. So I have all kinds of fur and sticks and woods and all that. See, that's why I play it by myself instead of coming in and trying to get villagers right off the bat. Just gives me time to collect, get ready to do it right, not have anybody leave. So now what I'll do is I can make some bronze weapons. Uh, so what I'm going to do is I will go and build me a market stall. And build a house. And then I'll get one person somebody that can do diplomacy, which is what you need to sell stuff. And then I'll go mining and I'll make the actual mining stuff, get the ore and all that by myself. And then I'll do all that. And then I'll come back and make a bunch of bronze weapons and stuff. And I'll put them in the storage and I'll let him sell them. And that way, instead of waiting until me go sell a lot of my stuff, they can just sell it right out of the market, and I don't have to worry about selling to the villagers. That's my next goal, my next plan. And then that'll help me get enough money up to get buy some more, unlock some more of that stuff like iron and all that, and be able to make all that. Because that's my number one goal. I want to be able to make all my metal weapons and armor before I do anything else. That's my number one thing I want to do. But like I said, mechanics work great. Gameplay's great. I mean, it's just a great game, hands down. It's got to be one of the top survivalist games they're out there. I mean, definitely. Uh, don't knock it before you try it. I know a lot of people look at games and say, "Well, I'll hate that," but don't do that. Try it first. I'll guarantee you, especially if you got a free trial or something like that, try it because it's fun. And then uh, we got wolves moving in here. Main reason why I chose this game to do the review is not only do I love this game, it's one of my favorites, and I really enjoy the people that made this game. Top Lits Productions and Render Cube. I mean, they're awesome. I've I've watched them for a long time now, and they just put out awesome games. Uh, so, but the other reason I wanted to do the review on it is because they have two other ones that are coming out. Uh, and they are Dynasty games. Uh, so it's going to be awesome. And I have been waiting for a while now. So the first one, I'm going to be, after we get done with the review on this and all that, I'll be keeping you all updated with the updates. I do have some information already. It will be, you can pre-order it right now. It's Sudoku Dynasty. It's basically the same thing as this. I've not played it. Now, I reckon you PC players have been able to play it. But console has not been able to try it yet. But I reckon it's supposed to be identical to this here. You survive, you build, you craft, and it's basically same thing except it's not in medieval time. It's in Japan time. You go You're going to be Japan guys. It's based all in Japan. So it's going to be different. And so I can't wait. But you can pre-order it right now. It will be available August the 21st will be when it's out. So I cannot wait. I'm going to be pre-ordering it this weekend. And who knows? I might be disappointed, but I really doubt it. Not with these guys. And then the next one they've got is Viking Dynasty. I think that's going to be a good one too. But I've not got all the information on it, so I don't know when it's coming. I just know it's supposed to be coming. So, uh, Top Litz Productions. Top Litz Productions and Cold Horizon are two of the ones that I would really enjoy working with. They're good companies. They sit there and they listen to what people want. I'm just gonna kill these guys before they come for me. They will run from you once you hurt them. But I'm just I've watched them for years now, and every one of their games they do the same. Especially their bigger games like these. Uh, if there's an issue, they fix it. I mean, they will get right on it. It might take a little time, but they fix it. And when usually they don't just fix it, they make it even better. So they're always going in and adding new stuff and making new DLCs, and that's the type of people I want to work with. Somebody that really cares about the gamers, their customers. I would die for a chance to work with Apocalypse and Cold Horizon, uh, Warhorse Studios, because that's one of the things I do as a gamer is I the reviews and blogs, and I keep an eye on everything. I watch how many times people update stuff, how quick they update it. Uh, you know, I watch discords and everything to see if there is an issue, if they're getting to it, or if they're just ignoring the people. And Pop Litz and Code Horizon, especially Code Horizon. Code Horizon's talk even gets on there and talks to people. So it's I've not seen Top Litz do that yet, but they probably do. But I do know they fix their issues. Just great company. I will be doing another review on this one. We've been trying to do 2 or 3 reviews on each game, just to put more hours on them, just to make sure things are going well. That I ain't missed nothing. This one's a little different because I've played this one for a long time now. over the years, and I about know it's good, but I'm still going to do it because it's not about what I think, it's about what you guys think, and I want to be able to make sure to show you that the game's a good game. No crashing, no big glitches or bugs or freezing. Now this game does freeze when it saves. When I remember when I first started playing it, I thought, "Oh my God, it's freezing," but it wasn't. When it auto saves, it will freeze just for a second. I don't know if it does it on PC, but it does do it on console. Uh, so, like I said, it is rated T for teen. It does have some words in it that shouldn't be said, and just drinking stuff like that. But there's no nudity or anything that I've seen. Uh, it's basically just some words and you know stuff like that. That's why it's T for teen. So all right, guys, I'm gonna save it. I usually save it twice just to make sure. And that's it, guys. That's going to be our review for today. Uh, I really hope y'all enjoy. Like I said, it's a very good game, guys. I mean, it's an awesome game. I think it is. It's just sold everywhere. It's sold in stores. It's sold in GameStop, Walmart, Amazon. I mean, it is a disc copy. So it's a very good game. I really enjoy it, and I hope you all that try it will enjoy it. We won't rate it today because I'm going to give it 2 or 3 more reviews. Uh, but God bless you all for coming and hanging out. The ones who do watch, check out. I hope you enjoy. I hope you support us. I'm really trying to get this going. God bless you. Have a safe day. Keep God close to your hearts because that's how you do it all. Never give up. Fight till the end. This is Wright Family Gaming. Signing